My name is Ruth Groome. Although I had never darkened the doors of the Royal Conservatory of Music in Toronto until I was 33 years old, it had actually defined my childhood. And then it curiously determined the direction of my adult life and eventually the lives of my children. I began piano lessons when I was 5 years old, and my parents had settled in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. My teacher had been trained in the whole program of the Royal Conservatory of Music. I was a diligent pupil, and my piano teacher decided that I was promising and I needed to have a better piano. They found this at Eaton's in downtown Moose Jaw, and it was from Toronto. It has the ER commemorating the coronation of Queen Elizabeth. I think we got it the next year slightly cheaper. By the time I was in grade 12, I was preparing to do the final exam for the associate level, and it required 4 hours of practice per day. There was very little time left over for other life in my last year of high school. I did succeed. I wasn't going to be a concert pianist. I was at university in Montreal and in Philadelphia. I didn't have access to a piano, but music intervened in a crucial encounter I had with a tall, dark, handsome Brazilian man who was also fascinated by music. He had always wanted to be an opera singer. I told him that one thing I knew about Brazil was Brazilian composer Villa-Lobos, and he was actually astounded that I would know about him. It led to a marriage and eventually life in Brazil, where my experience of music expanded to beautiful Brazilian music. I also had 2 sons, absolutely lovely boys. I think it was 4 years later, we went to England for a year. At the end of that, I decided to come back to Canada. I brought my 2 little boys to Toronto, and the one thing I had decided was to set up violin lessons for my son. He was interested in learning violin, so I went directly to the conservatory. It was the first time I'd ever been there. It was like meeting my grandmother for the first time. I acquired my piano again, so I could accompany my boys while they learned to play the violin, and then the youngest learned to play the cello. The oldest boy expanded his instruments to wind instruments and then the guitar. His younger brother did the same thing. They played in all of the bands in school and had marvelous times. My oldest boy developed his own band. He became a professional musician with successful bands. His younger brother decided that he would study law. He is a lawyer in the music business.